If the thumbnail and the name of the project wasn't a dead giveaway, we're taking our 2003 Ford Ranger and turning it into a complete overland 6x6. What really inspired this project was what all the Australians are doing down south. They're doing some really cool projects with their vehicles, so I thought I'd do my own. This build is going to address one of the big issues that I've had with this truck. And it's not that I've overloaded this truck. I've gone to my max weight and then gone on thousands and thousands of kilometers of adventure, both on-road and off-road. And it doesn't handle it the best. So I had a few choices in front of me. A couple of those were upgraded leaf springs for my truck. That's boring. Modifying my truck to accept F-150 leaf springs, increasing the spring rate. Also kind of boring. The final choice was add a second axle and another pack of leaf springs. Also doing this gives us a larger flatbed. And that's exciting, because not only can we run our max weight all the time with no issue, but now we have more room for gear and the future camper build that's coming up. We've got a lot to do on this project. This first one, we're going to be tackling all the painting and mounting the snorkel. It's pretty exciting what we're doing. And all of this has to be done in less than a month. We have a car show at the end of May, and it's going to be crazy busy for us to get this done and ready for that show. Now, we aren't going to be completely finishing it before. Phase 1 is what I'm calling it, is the paint, the snorkel, building the flatbed, and mounting the rear axle, so I can at least drive my truck still. The second phase, that's where the fun really begins. We're going to be tackling making our own drive shafts, mounting the second transfer case and carrier bearing so we can power both rear axles. But that's enough of me rambling. Let's jump right into this and get started on the Raptor liner. We got our snorkel from our 5th gen 4Runner. We've already made a few marks here. That's kind of looking like it'll center up on this body line right here. And it will be level with the top of the fender. So we're going to see what's going to happen there. We're going to cut the hole out and get a dry fit. Okay, we already made a lovely little drawing here of what our hole is going to be. We did some pilot holes. We're going to do some bigger holes now. That way we can get the sawzall, or not the sawzall, the jigsaw to make these corners nicely. Alright, now that we got those done, swap over to the jigsaw. here we have found some foam inside. Not sure if we cut this or if it just fell out. Oh, we don't need that. Where'd that metal piece go? I think it fell. We're gonna have to find that eventually, but for now, let's get this kind of in place here and see how it's going to look. Oh, that part's looking pretty good. It's not looking too bad. We do have a bit of a gap right here. It's to be expected. A little bit up top here. Will it interfere with the door? It will. Okay. I'm gonna have to shift that forward ever so slightly. And does not interfere with the door right there. Okay. So that's not looking too bad. We're gonna clear our fender flare, so that's good. Gap on the bottom's not bad. Gap up top isn't bad either. You know, I'm pretty happy with that, and I might just say screw it and we'll just send it. No need to do excess metal work and, you know, fill in the gaps or whatever. But that is snorkel mounted. Guess now we'll get it tossed back on and see how she fits fully bolted up. Now that we've done all the fun stuff with installing the snorkel, or at least getting that to the point where we can pull it off again so we can get the truck ready to paint, we gotta go through the whole truck and fix, well, all surface rust. Best thing to do that with is 80 grit. Bring it right down to clean metal. Clean paint so it's not flaking away. That way the Raptor liner has good material to stick to when we go over the whole truck with 180 grit. What we're going to be doing is, after we've sanded this down all the way to metal, is we're going to be using a self-etching primer. That will help the Raptor liner stick to the bare metal. We've gone around, we've dealt with all the rust spots and pinholes and so on. We're gonna rip the fenders off now so we can sand those separate. We're also gonna paint those separate from the body as well. And along with getting this guy all sanded down, we're gonna pull off all of the weather stripping so we can spray this all in one go. Done off camera. We've almost completely sanded this door here. We removed the fenders, the entire front end. We got the hood partially sanded, and as well as the roof. Did a bit of that after dinner last night, but we are going to jump back at it, get this fully prepped today. Probably start taping off all the windows and the trim, so that way tomorrow, first thing, we can start painting. We've got the entire truck masked off, as well as we've used self-etching primer on all the spots that we've cleaned up. And I've used it in some tricky areas, like on the valence here, where we pull in fresh air to the cab. I went along the trim of the windshield. That way, because I know that's going to be a really, really tough spot to go. We got the hood propped up ever so slightly so we can get all around that. And she is ready to go. Now to mix up our paint and get to spraying. All right, we have everything we need to mix up our first batch. Pay no mind to the state of this bottle. It was opened once, never used. I just ended up having 2 extra, so perfect. We have our color. This is a cobalt blue. It's gonna be really nice. This is already ready to go right into this guy straight. We have a hardener, mixing cup, and, well, measuring cup and measuring cup. This one for the hardener, this one for the color. It's a 3-to-1 for the hardener into this guy, and then it is 100 mils of paint color to go into this as well. So let's get after that. We're gonna make sure this guy's nice and shooken up before we actually put that in. But first we need to open this tintable Raptor liner. Now that we've made a proper mess and we've covered that guy up, let's put our lid back on this and shake the crap out of it. That is one thing that you gotta do. You gotta shake this guy really well. So we'll be right back once we are ready to start spraying. We got it on the Schultz gun. We've set our compressor to just over 40 PSI to give us the good spray. We're gonna just test it on the sawhorse here. That's looking pretty good. I think we are pretty ready for our first coat, that is. So let's get after it. Well, I think that is pretty well shooken up for the second bottle. Close up our paint so we don't get any stuff in that. So what we're gonna do is swap it over. Now there's gonna be a little bit left in each bottle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cap this guy off and save it for the very end. So that way we can keep using what we actually have. It's best to get your money's worth, that is. Woo. And I squeezed a little bit out, so we're gonna just wipe that down a little bit. Now be very careful about squeezing that. Now you're gonna find that your nozzle's going to get gummed up, so definitely have a cloth with you to wipe that guy down. So first bottle's closed up. I feel there's probably about that much left in it. So by the time we're done our last bottle, we'll have a fair amount left to give an extra little spray somewhere else. I just finished spraying the last coat. So these guys are fully done. And so is the truck. It was silver, now it is blue. Now it fits its name, Cobalt. It is looking pretty darn good. And for our first time ever using Raptor liner in the spray form, I'd say it turned out pretty good. Ooh, tripped there. Went a little heavy on some areas, like on the back here, because I don't want to have to worry about that. She's looking pretty darn good. Now to let it sit for 24 hours, let it cure, and then I can reveal and start pulling all the tape off and everything else. There is still a lot to go on Project Mega Ranger 6x6. To answer a few questions that I know we're going to get, the front fenders. Yes, they're a little bit more rough than everywhere else, but these get the most abuse. So I went a little bit thicker here than most people would do. The snorkel turned out really well. We've got a new head coming in for that, so that'll be here hopefully this week. And we're on a time crunch. I have less than a week and a half to get this truck ready for a car show out here in Alberta. The 23rd of May is when that car show happens, and I got a lot to do still. Yes, we got the truck painted, but we still have to build the new flatbed, as well as mounting the rear axle and the full suspension. So stick around for the next one, and remember, adventure is built, not by.